I can still feel the weight of that moment, the one where I stood in our bedroom doorway, the dim light from the hall casting long shadows across the carpet. My chest tight with a sickness I couldn't shake. It was late Tuesday night. The house hushed, except for the ragged sound of my own breathing, thick with the flu I'd caught from little Bao, our 3-year-old, who'd been coughing and burning up all week. The congestion had turned my CPAP machine, a hulking, whirring beast I'd relied on for years to keep my snoring at bay, into a useless hunk of plastic. I'd wake in the dead of night, clawing it off my face, gasping for air through a nose that wouldn't cooperate, my lungs rattling like a broken engine. I hated it. Hated how helpless it made me feel. But what I hated more was what it did to my wife, the woman I'd sworn to protect through every storm life threw at us. Mai has lupus, a cruel thief that gnaws at her joints, saps her strength, and leaves her body a battlefield of pain she fights every damn day. This week, she was in the thick of a flare-up, her hands trembling when she tried to pour Bao's juice, her steps slow and deliberate, like every movement cost her something she couldn't afford to lose. Sleep was already a distant dream for her, snatched away by the ache in her bones, and I knew my snoring, amplified by this cursed flu, was making it worse. I'd hear her shift beside me in bed, her breath shallow and restless, and I'd lie there, eyes squeezed shut, praying the CPAP would hold, knowing it wouldn't. But Tuesday night, when I stumbled out of bed to check on Bao, I found her gone. The sheets on her side were cold, her pillow missing, and a sick dread twisted in my gut. I found her in the closet, of all places. Of all places, a cramped, dusty walk-in, a space barely big enough for our clothes, let alone a person. She dragged her blanket and pillow in there, curled up on the hardwood floor like some stray animal seeking shelter. The door was shut tight, sealing her in a box with no air, no light, just the stale smell of old shoes and necked. My heart stopped, then pounded, a mix of fury and fear surging through me. "Mai!" I croaked, my voice hoarse from the flu. "What the hell are you doing?" She looked up, her eyes sunken with exhaustion, her face pale even in the faint glow from the hall. "I can't sleep with your snoring, Nam," she said, her tone flat but edged with something sharp. "This works. Just let me be. Let her be." I stood there, staring at this woman I loved, her frail frame pressed against a floor I hadn't swept in months, her body already battered by lupus, now choosing this over our bed, and I felt like I'd been gutted. "No," I said, shaking my head, my voice rising despite the rawness in my throat. "This isn't happening. You're not sleeping in there like that. It's filthy. There's no ventilation. Christ, Mai, you're already hurting enough." She pulled the blanket tighter around her, her jaw set. "It's quiet. I need this." But I saw the way her hands shook, the way her knees bent stiffly as she tried to adjust, and I knew she wasn't fine, not even close. "I'm moving to the couch," I said, turning to grab my pillow from the bed, my mind made up before she could argue. "You are staying here in our bed where you belong." She sat up then, her eyes flashing with a fire I hadn't seen in days. "Oh, so you get to decide everything now?" she snapped, her voice cutting through the haze of my fever. "Nam always gets his way, right? I'm the one in pain. I'm the one who can. I'm the one who can't sleep. I should choose this." Her words hit me like a slap, stinging deeper because they carried a truth I couldn't deny. I'd always been the fixer, the one who took charge. But this time, I saw it in her glare. She felt like I was stealing her control, the one thing she had left when her body betrayed her. I froze. Pillow clutched to my chest, the flu making my head swim, my legs weak. I'm not doing this to win. I said, I'm doing it because I'm going out. That closet will make you worse. Please, just let me take the couch. She stared at me, her lips trembling, then turned away, curling back into her blanket without another word. I left the room, my heart a tangled mess of love and frustration, and sank onto the living room couch, the springs creaking under me as I tried to breathe through the guilt and the phlegm. The next morning, Bao's fever spiked again, and I was up before dawn, dosing him with medicine, my own body aching like I'd been hit by a truck. Mai emerged from the bedroom, her steps halting, her face a mask of fatigue. She'd slept in the bed. I checked in the night, unable to rest until I knew, but she wouldn't look at me, wouldn't speak beyond a curt, "I've got him," when I offered to take Bao. The silence between us grew, heavy and cold, a wall I didn't know how to breach. By Wednesday, it wasn't just use. Our families got wind of it, thanks to my sister Lian, who I'd vented to over the phone in a moment of weakness. "She's sleeping in the closet because of your snoring?" Lian gasped, her voice loud enough to wake Bao if he'd been near. "Nam, that's insane. Why didn't you stop her?" "I tried. I shot back. My throat raw. I moved to the couch. But now she's mad, acting like I'm some dictator. "I don't want her in pain, Lian. I can't handle that." Lian paused and said, "She's a grown woman. If she wants the closet, maybe you should respect it. Lupus is her fight. She gets to call some shots." Her words gnawed at me, planting a seed of doubt. Was I wrong? Was I smothering her under the guise of care? But then my mother called, her tone all fire and brimstone. "Nam, you let her sleep on the floor? With Lupus? What kind of husband are you? You should have dragged her back to bed. She doesn't know what's good for her right now." I gripped the phone, head pounding. "Ma, I didn't let her. I forced her out by leaving the room. She hates me for it." Ma clucked her tongue. "Good. She'll thank you when she's not crippled from it. You're protecting her son." The opinions swirled, a storm of voices pulling me apart. At work, I spilled the story to my coworker Duck during a coffee break, my hands shaking around the mug. "Man, you're a saint," he said, clapping my shoulder. "She's being stubborn. Lupus or not, that closet's a death trap. You did right taking the couch." But then Han, our receptionist, overheard and leaned in, her brows furrowed. "Hold on, Duck. Mai's the one suffering. She's not a child." If she picked the closet, maybe it's her way of coping. "Vin, you can't just override her like that." I stared at them, torn, the flu fogging my brain as their words clashed. By Thursday, the tension in our house was a living thing, coiling tighter with every silent glance. Bao was still sick, whining from his crib. And I was a wreck, coughing, feverish, barely upright. Mai's flare-up worsened. I saw it in the way she winced pouring tea, the way her fingers fumbled with the kettle. I caught her eyeing the closet again that night, blanket in hand, and I lost it. "Mai, no," I said, blocking the door, my voice rough with desperation. "You're killing yourself in there. I won't let you." She wheeled on me, her eyes blazing through the pain. "You won't let me? Who made you my keeper, Nam?" "I'm not your damn patient. I'm your wife. I need sleep, and you're taking that from me." "I'm trying to... save you," I shouted, my voice breaking. The flu, stripping it raw. You think I want this? I'd sleep on the street if it helped you. Tears welled in her eyes, her fists clenched. Then why don't you? Why do you keep deciding for me? I'm trapped in this body. Don't trap me in your choices, too. The room spun. Her words a hammer to my skull, and I staggered back, coughing, tears burning my own eyes. Fine, I rasped. But I'm not watching you destroy yourself. I grabbed my pillow and stormed to the couch, slamming the door behind me, the sound echoing like a gunshot. Friday morning, Bao's fever broke. A small mercy, but Maya and I were shards of glass, sharp and scattered. She stayed in bed, her silence a wall, while I nursed my flu on the couch, the cushions digging into my back. My phone buzzed. Lian again. She's posted on Facebook, Nam. Says she feels controlled. People are piling on you. I opened the app, heart sinking. Mai's post was short, brutal. When your husband thinks he knows your pain better than you do. Comments exploded. Friends calling me a tyrant. Others saying she was ungrateful. Ma, not malice. He's trying to help, one wrote. He's suffocating her. Another fired back. The world split, a chorus of judgment tearing us open. That night, I couldn't take it. I marched to the bedroom, flu be damned, and found her sitting up, eyes red. My, I said, voice trembling. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to control you. I'm scared. I see you hurting, and it's killing me. She looked at me, tears spilling. I'm scared too, Nam, but I need to breathe, even if it's on the floor. You can't fix this. We stared, the chasm between us aching, and I nodded, defeated. Okay, closet's yours. I'll stay out here. Bao ni trousered here. She nodded back, a fragile truce. And I retreated, collapsing on the couch, the flu and heartbreak at twin weight. Weeks later, Bao's well. My flu's gone. And May's flare-up eased. But the closet stays her refuge some nights. I sleep on the couch when the CPAP fails. And we tiptoe around the scars. Hers from lupus, mine from guilt. The world still argues. My mother insists I'm a hero. Lian says I'm a fool. Friends pick sides like it's a sport. I don't know who's right. I just know I love her. And that love's a messy, broken thing, leaving me wondering if standing my ground saved her or lost us both.